Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Chef Mombi here of Mombi's House of Marinades. If you haven't checked out our socials yet, check them down below and follow through. Also, I want to just thank you all so much for following, subscribing, for following my journey here as we cook together. Today I want to tell you what we have on the menu. We have pork chops on the menu. We have a beetroot puree that I'm going to use this beetroot for, and we have baby potatoes that I'm going to roast into after boiling them. And yeah, let's see how that goes. For the potatoes, for now we're going to start by cutting them in half, and for the really big ones we're going to cut them into quarters. I have my pot of water here ready waiting, and I'm going to put the potatoes into the water. After that, we're going to boil them for about 7 to 9 minutes. After boiling them for about 7 to 9 minutes, we're going to let them cool. After they cool, we're going to season them with olive oil, salt, black pepper, dried parsley, and roast them in the oven at about 180 degrees for about 10 minutes more or less. Next, we're going to prepare the beetroot for roasting. My ingredients for roasting the beetroots are the beetroot, I have an orange slice, I have brown sugar, fresh thyme, olive oil. So what we're going to do is, using my piece of foil, I'm going to open it up, place the orange slice, place the beetroot, sprinkle some brown sugar on the beetroot, make sure there's enough. Sprinkle some olive oil so it doesn't dry up as it's roasting. And then we're going to take our thyme here. And we're going to place a few sprigs of thyme. This is all to attain flavor within the beetroot. Going to wrap it up. My oven is set to 200 degrees Celsius, where this will roast for about 2 hours. Next, we're going to work on our ingredients for our salad. The ingredients for our salad include, we have mesclun salad leaves here, we have cherry tomatoes, we have sweet corn that I'm going to roast on the grill later, and we have a carrot that I'm going to peel, prepare. The steps include, we have to wash the cherry tomatoes, we have to wash the lettuce extremely well, and we have to roast and grill the sweet corn as I said earlier, and then peel and just chop up the carrots. Now we're going to mix our salad. The components are all ready to go. Here I have my salad leaves, a few of my cherry tomatoes, and then a few of the carrot sticks. And then I'm going to cut the sweet corn. And sprinkle it over the top of my salad ingredients. We're going to store this in the fridge until we're ready to plate later. Well, now I want to throw in a little advice. As chefs in the kitchen, what we do is, as we go, we clean our station. So right now, I'm going to wipe down my cutting board so it's clean for the next product that I'm going to cut. And the next product we're working on is our stir-fry vegetables. We have broccolini, we have snow peas, we have baby corn, and we have carrot sticks. I'm going to cut the broccolinis into little, I'm just going to cut the stem off, store them away. Make sure not to cut too much of the stem off. For the snow peas, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna cut off the edge diagonally and then cut it in half diagonally. Each step is precise, so be very extremely careful as you work and as you go. For the baby corn, we're just going to you can choose to cut in half, which is still very attractive for a plate. You can choose to serve it whole, or you can choose to also cut diagonally in half. From our last video, you might remember that the process of blanching contains a pot of hot water. It has to be extremely boiling before you put in your vegetables. We start in order of the longest that takes to blanch. So we'll start with the carrots. Then we'll do the baby corn next. The snow peas. And the broccolini goes in last because it takes the least amount of time to blanch. Blanching takes from about, usually they say 5 to 10 seconds maximum, because you're just trying to pre-boil the vegetables without losing all of the vegetables' nutrients. After blanching our vegetables, now we're going to drain them of all the water. Make sure all the liquid is drained, and then we're going to put them in a bath of ice water to shock them and stop the cooking process. So here I have my parboiled baby potatoes. I'm going to season them with olive oil so they don't dry out in the oven, Himalayan salt, black pepper, dried parsley, and roast them in the oven at about 160 degrees Celsius because they're already pre-cooked slightly. So I'm just gonna first toss them slightly in little olive oil. Make sure they have a nice shine to them. I'm gonna put about 2 teaspoons of salt, 1.5 actually. Toss them in the salt. A little bit of black pepper. Not too much because black pepper is extremely strong. Toss them in the black pepper. Place them on our tray. Make sure they are evenly spaced. And last but not least, sprinkle it with dried parsley. Make sure it's enough so it's visible. And now we're gonna go place it in our oven for about 7 minutes approximately. Okay, next we're going to grill our pork. What we're looking to achieve here is amazing grill marks. So I'm gonna place it first on one angle, one side. This first one I'm grilling is the one with the sweet and sour marinade. Next, we're going to do the honey garlic pork chops. We're going to grill them. Before you place your meat on your grill, make sure the grill is extremely hot. On this one, we're also looking to attain amazing grill marks and let them cook as well and finish off on the grill for about 10 to 12 minutes approximately till they're well done. Now We're going to flip our honey garlic pork chops. And oh my god, guys, I wish you could smell this right now. Oh, it smells amazing up in here. Okay guys, here we have our perfectly roasted beetroot. The way to tell if it's well cooked is by squeezing it a bit. If it's still firm, but you can still squeeze it really well and it's juicy, then it's perfectly roasted. We're going to make a beetroot puree out of it. My ingredients will include, I have olive oil, cumin, chili powder, salt, fresh garlic and lime juice. So the first step is I'm going to peel the beetroot, cut it into little cubes and mix everything in a blender and make my puree. Another tip that should show you how well roasted it is if you're peeling it and the skin comes off easily. I know not many people are fans of beetroot, but it's really colorful and really healthy and brings color to a plate at the end when you're plating your final dish, which is why I chose to use beetroot today for our plate of pork chops. I'm now going to add in the garlic cloves. I put one really small one because we're just using one beetroot. I'm going to put in a teaspoon, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of cumin, and half a teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of olive oil, 1 and 2 teaspoons of lime juice. So guys, next we're going to stir fry our vegetables. Here I have a chunk of butter. We're going to use butter. Make sure your pan is extremely hot. We're going to let the butter melt and get hot. And then we're going to put in our vegetables after that, stir fry them for a few minutes, and we'll be ready for our final plate shortly. Guys, I wish you could smell how amazing this butter is making the vegetables. Like, oh, it's just amazing. Look at that. Okay, what we're looking to achieve at the end is basically have some crispy, colorful vegetables for our plate. Make sure they're well seasoned. So here I have my salt. I'm going to put about a pinch or two. Toss them. And let them saute some more. Okay guys, now I have my beetroot puree blended. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sieve the portion I need. The reason why we're sieving it is to make sure it maintains its fine texture. It's a process, a tedious process, but it's well worth it in the end when you see your results. There are also some chunks of beetroot that have remained, which I am still going to use in the long run on the plate because you want to get a feel, taste, and texture of the actual ingredients and the flavors all together. Look at our result. Very smooth, pure, fine, and that is exactly what we're looking for. Now we're going to start to make our plate. I'm going to start with the beetroot puree. I'm going to take a chunk of it on my brush, place it at the corner of my plate, and just once very efficiently swipe down. I'm gonna do so on the second plate as well, on the right corner, and once very efficiently, not repeating, swipe. Then next, I'm going to take my salad elements. I'm going to start with the salad leaves and arrange them on top of the beetroot puree, but not covering it completely, so we can still have some element of color. And then we're going to arrange slowly but surely our cherry tomatoes, our sweet corn, very articulately. I forgot to mention that the sweet corn was pre-boiled for 20 minutes in salted water and then roasted on the grill to give it an effect of charred dressing. On top of the salad, I'm going to take some chunks of the beetroot that I've saved just for effect and color and flavor too. And then next we're going to use our vegetables. We'll start with the broccolini. Just make sure to place enough on each plate. I use the 2 bottom corners. And then next I'm going to use our potatoes. I'm going to place them right next to the salad, about 4 or 5 pieces depending on how big they are. And then now we're going to move on to the fork and make it the center of our plating, the center of our attention and the center of our plate. And last but not least, I have a honey mustard homemade dressing here that I am going to slightly drizzle on top of our salad. Guys, and voila, there we have our plate. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed shooting it and making this recipe and walking through the recipe with you guys. For those who are unable to eat pork, feel free to use chicken. Replace the pork with chicken in this recipe. The honey garlic marinade particularly can be used on chicken as well, so feel free to do that in the comfort of your homes. Thank you for all the support and following through this journey. I hope you enjoyed the second video and many more to come. Please click subscribe, like, comment, tell us what we can do better, tell us what you enjoyed in this video, and thank you. Hope to see you next time.